This up. So the first thing that we're looking at today is just practicing writing in slope-intercept form given an equation. So remember, what is the goal when we're converting to slope-intercept form? We're trying to get something by itself. What do I need to get by itself? Okay, it's not exactly what we're looking for. Not just the b and the slope. I'm trying to find those, sure, but the goal here, Drew? Yeah, look, exactly. I'm trying to get y by itself because y is by itself in slope-intercept form. So we're trying to get y by itself. So we can create one of those inverse operation tables if you wanted to. This one will be pretty short. And we can say, okay, well, what am I doing to y? What am I doing to y here? I'm just adding what? 4x. So I'm adding 4x. How do I undo that? Subtract 4x. So in this problem, y is nearly finished already, and we work at our bottom up, but since this is only a one step, we just subtract 4x. And if I do it to one side, you got to do it to the other. Now I like to leave the x first because the x first is in, or the x is first in slope-intercept form. So those 4x's cancel out, and I'm left with y is equal to negative 4x, and this is a positive 7. Is that in slope-intercept form?
Yeah.
Yeah, what would my slope be here? Negative 4. And what would my y-intercept be? 7. Okay, I think that's a pretty nice one to start out with. Let's do another one. Let's try one that looks like this. 2x minus 3y equals 9. So we'll do 2x minus 3y equals 9. And again, we're writing it in slope-intercept form, so we can use our inverse operation table if you like. What's the first thing that I do to y? And that's a very good guess, and it's a very good answer, but there's one piece missing. I'm multiplying it by 3, but maybe it'd help if I did it like this. Let's rewrite it real quick as 2x plus negative 3y equals 9. So instead of timesing by 3, what should it be? By negative 3. Okay, so it's important that we see this minus sign here. I'm multiplying by negative 3. And then what am I doing? After I multiply by negative 3, what am I doing? Not timesing, adding 2x. It's adding, oops, just made a mess of that. Adding 2x plus 2x there. How do I undo that plus 2x? Subtract 2x. How do I undo timesing by negative 3? Divide by negative 3. So in this case, we will work from bottom to top. We can draw our little river here. And the first thing that we need to do is subtract 2x. I do it to one side, do it to the other. Everything comes down, and I get this minus 3y is equal to minus 2x plus 9. Because this is a positive 9 here, right? So it would be plus 9. And then if we look at our table, it says the next thing to do is divide by negative 3. I'm going to have to divide each piece by negative 3. What's a negative divided by a negative? positive, so this will be positive 2/3 x. And 9 divided by negative 3 is what? Negative 3. Good. What is my slope here? 2/3. And what is the y-intercept? Negative 3. Okay, let's keep going here. I think we can fit at least one or two more in. And then we'll start some new stuff. Let's try this one here. Which one do we want? Oh, this is a good one. 3x plus 2y equals 2x plus 8. And remember, let's start by just focusing on y. What do you see here that's a little bit different from problems that we've done so far? Antonio? Good, there's a variable on both sides. And which variable is on both sides? X. Yeah, there's an X on both sides. Now, we don't have to worry about that, right? What do you think we're going to do with this 3x anyway? We're going to end up subtracting it, right? So it'll just combine our x's to one side. So that's pretty good that you guys are seeing what's going to happen already. Let's take a look at what we're doing to y. What's the first thing we do to y? Good. We multiply by 2. This is 2 times y. So this is times 2. And then what's the next thing we do to y? Plus 3x. How do I undo these things? Subtract 3x and divide by 2. Very good. Which one do I do first? Good, so I want to do this bottom to top. So we'll do that. We'll subtract 3x. And I want to subtract 3x from the 2x that I've already got here. I want to combine those like terms. That'll leave us 2y is equal to, what is 2x minus 3x? Very good. Yeah, it's negative x or negative 1x if you like to have the 1 in there. What do I do next? Divide by 2. And I'm going to have to divide each piece by 2. Y is equal to, remember this is negative 1x divided by 2. How else could I write that? Good, but it's a negative, so it'd be negative 1/2 x. And then what's 8 divided by 2? Positive 4. What's my slope here? Negative 1/2. And our y-intercept, Travis, what do you think our y-intercept is here? Cool beans. Can you ask any questions about problems like this? Okay, you'll have some time to practice these, but these are good skills to have. Okay, need to have these skills. Let's keep going here for a minute. Okay, let's refresh here. So we called slope intercept form y. Why did we call it slope intercept form? Antonio?
We're finding the slope and the y-intercept.
Yeah, it gave us where we found the slope and the y-intercept. What do you think we're going to have in point slope form? The point and the slope, right? So what point slope form is going to have? It will have a point, oh geez, now I've messed up my English. Let's see if we can, let's write the form for it. So point slope form actually looks like this, and this is one that you'll have to remember as well. Y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity x minus x1, where the m would be our slope and x1, y1 would be the point. Okay, so let's just try and write one in here. If I just give you the slope and a point. Let's say that the slope is 3. And the point 6 or -6, let's say, -6, 2 is on the line. Now this again is some terminology that we haven't really talked about. If a point is on the line, what do you think that means? Okay, that's a good guess that it'd be on the axes. But all we're saying for this is that this line, the equation that we're going to write, goes through this point. Okay, so -6, 2 will be on the line when we graph it, if we were to graph it. Let's try and write the equation for it. Well, we start with our general form here. And maybe we start by just writing it out again. That's always good practice for memory, is to just write it out. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. In this case, what is our m? 3, so I can plug 3 in. I can bring the parentheses down, those are going to stay. My equal sign will be there. And then I need to figure out what else comes down. Am I plugging in anything for this y? Nope, the y just brings itself down. Minus, what is y1? 2. So our y1 here is 2. What is my x1? -6. So my x comes down as well, and I do minus -6. And there, that's it in point-slope form. Let's take it one step further here, and let's see if we can write it in slope-intercept form. Not going to be crazy hard. This is it. This is point-slope form. What am I doing to y? Subtracting 2, but do I have parentheses in slope-intercept form? No, so how do I get rid of the parentheses here? Do the what? You do the parentheses first, so let's simplify it a little bit here. Minus and negative is the same thing as adding. Can I add x and 6? No, so how do I get rid of those parentheses? What do you think, Antonio? Oh, Jude, you have it? Very good. Do you know what that's called?
No.
It's our eyebrows or distributive property. But very good. You're exactly right. We multiply it to both places. So we get y minus 2 is equal to 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 6 is 18. Now I just need to get y by itself, and how do I do that? Add 2. And we would get y is equal to 3x plus 20. Do you think it's very hard, or does it seem very difficult to convert to slope-intercept form? All right, so here we go. We want to identify the slope and a point on the line. Which form is this equation in? Is it in point-slope form or slope-intercept form? It looks like point-slope form to me. The major difference here will be, or the major indicator will kind of be those parentheses. Okay, so we can say that this is supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like y minus, what is the rest of point-slope form? Who can tell me what point-slope form is already? Go ahead.
Y minus y1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x1.
Good. Yep. And we just say that word quantity because we want to say that these are in parentheses. Good. So this is what point-slope form is. Let's see if we can write this a little bit more similar to this. What's the difference between these two right now? Just between these two. What do you see that's different in them? Travis?
The Y1 already has numbers in it and the M is 2.
Okay, good. So we can identify our M. What else is different here? If I wasn't paying attention to like the numbers themselves or the letters, what do you see that's different here? I'm gonna press for this. What do you think? Jude, you think you see it?
There's no parentheses around the second number. Yeah.
This one here? Yeah, there's no parentheses here. What does that tell us, Antonio?
There's subtraction symbols on the right one.
Yeah, look, here there's subtraction, here there's addition. Okay? It seems like nitpicky, but what we want to do is we want to write it with subtraction. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. We're going to say that this is y minus. How could I turn addition into subtraction? Good, yeah. I'm going to subtract a negative equals 2. I keep that 2 there. X, and I want to change this to subtraction as well. So what will that one be? Minus negative 4. And what this allows us to see is that now my x1 and y1 are a little bit more clear. So let's identify our m here. What is our m? What is our slope for this? Good, Jude. Yeah, 2. And what is a point that is on this line? Negative 4 and it would be negative 6. And which one's which? Which one comes first?
Or it's negative 4.
It's negative 4. Why is it negative 4, Lacey? Yeah, good. This is the x value, and x always comes first. And there we've done it. We've identified our slope and a point on the line. So it's important that you either recognize that this was addition and you have to change the sign of these, because initially you might just say, oh, the point is 4, 6, right? But in the form, it's supposed to be minus. So we need to pay attention and say, well, if I see a positive 4 or a plus 4 here, my point is actually negative. Okay, so writing it as subtraction will make that a little bit more clear. Ooh, what did I do? Here real quick. And let's say it like this. The only difference between slope-intercept form and point-slope form is that the point we are given point we are given in slope-intercept form is always the y-intercept. Okay, I know that was more words than what we had just discussed. But the only difference between the two is that the point in slope-intercept form is the y-intercept. Otherwise, it is point-slope form. So slope-intercept is just a specific case of point-slope form.